he loses track of Trayvon Martin after calling police, walks back to his car. Suddenly, Martin appears, having circled back, according to Zimmerman, and that's when Trayvon Martin attacks Zimmerman, according to Zimmerman, punching him in the nose. And again, you know, there's a photograph and also medical records that reflect a broken nose. And then, of course, he says he jumps on top of me, throws me to the ground, and starts slamming my head into the concrete. And again, the photographs would seem to bear that out. Now, Doug, what's your take on this?
It's interesting because, you know, as a lawyer, I'll give you both sides of it. I mean, one side is exactly the way you guys are breaking it down, which is that he was legitimately in fear for his life. His head is being smashed into the concrete. He's got a broken nose. He's got serious abrasions. And therefore, he was entitled to use deadly force. Now, you'll laugh when I just do the complete 180 rhetorical spin, which is that if somebody's losing a simple fist fight, they can't kill the person. That's what the lawyers are going to be debating back and forth. And the other thing I just want to say is that the defense has a very, very critical task here. And I'd like to see, you know, Harry's visceral reaction and you, which is that there's a lot of stuff about how he called in and he was told, don't follow him. But people are making a mistake, and I want to hear what you say. Just because you follow somebody and you initiate it doesn't mean you can't use force to defend yourself. So in other words, if I take an ill-advised course,
right,
and I follow Greg Jarrett,
so what?
Even though they tell me don't do it, but I'm saying this jury could be badly confused on that point.
And remember, this is a private community, all right? And they have organized on their own a neighborhood watch. They're entitled to do that. Nothing illegal about it. There's nothing illegal about watching somebody, nothing illegal about following an individual, and if you believe something suspicious is going on, calling police. And even if the police tell you don't follow him, don't do anything.
Right.
Well, you don't have to.
Exactly. Exactly.
But that can be misconstrued by the jury.
Right. It definitely can be. You know, following somebody isn't a catalyst to beat somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
As far as, you know,
right.
Trayvon Martin called his girlfriend instead of the police. If he was in fear of this guy, why didn't he call the police and say, hey, some guy's following me? Or why didn't Trayvon Martin just approach him and say, hey, listen, you know, what are you following me for, man? You know? But, you know, what I had said before is this, you know, this street attitude, all right, that is pervasive, you know, in the culture of violence in the inner city, all right? You know,
you got a little trouble from one of the defense attorneys making that comment earlier.
Right. Well, you know, I stand by my comment. You know, I worked the streets of New York City for 25 years. I mean, there are guys killing each other out there just because they look bad at somebody.
But here's the thing, the jury may not know about that so-called street attitude, assuming it exists.
Right, well,
because the judge is going to very narrowly confine the evidence presented.
Right. That ties into discussions we've had before, which is that, you know, why shouldn't, I'll take your side of it, why shouldn't we be able to put in that the kid had, you know, disciplinary problems in school and all this other stuff, but the judge doesn't want it?
He says it's irrelevant and prejudicial.
Well, you know,
he says that the probative value of that is outweighed by the prejudicial effect, which is the legal test.
Right. You know, when I was on last week, we were talking about this with a defense attorney, and the defense attorney said, well, you know, Zimmerman is pro-law enforcement, he's a wannabe cop, and they're going to try and use that against him. Okay, well, but that's not bad behavior. That's good behavior.
But analogizing it to like a mall cop who may not
have
the familiarity with firearms like we did.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. That's the argument.